Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Unit 3 Part R. Today's topic is antenatal diet. Antenatal diet is nothing but the diet that is followed by the woman who is pregnant. That is antenatal diet. And these are the factors that is required by the woman. First, the carbohydrates and fat. The basic function of this both carbohydrates and fat is nothing but to provide energy to our body when our body is in need. It can be when we are in fasting mode or when we are ill, like when we are not feeling well or when our body is requiring energy. This carbohydrates and fat will get converted into energy and provide energy to our body in the form of glucose. And generally carbohydrates can be seen in rice, wheat, potato, sugar. These are the common examples. And for fat, if you see, we can see the butter, ghee, vegetable oil, milk, egg. These are the common sources for fat. And next is protein. When it's come to protein, you have to understand folic acid is very important with respect to protein. Folic acid is nothing but vitamin B6. Vitamin B6, the other name is folic acid. And folic acid is very important to activate the protein. When you are consuming protein and you are not consuming the folic acid, the consumption of the protein will be waste. So make sure when you are consuming protein, you are consuming folic acid too, because folic acid is the vitamin which is used to activate the protein. So proteins are generally seen in fish, meat, chicken and other dairy products like milk products. Next, minerals. Minerals is generally consumed in a really minute quantity. The presence of minerals may not lead to a big difference, but when the minerals are not present in our body, that leads to an deficiencies. Like if iron is not present in our body, it leads to anemic condition, and if the calcium is not present in our body, that leads to the disorder that is related to bone, and if folic acid is not present in our body, that leads to the blood related and other conditions. And if vitamins are not present, that leads to the particular disorders. Like if vitamin A is not present, it affects the eyes, and if fiber is not present, that leads to the weakness that is related to the muscles. Now iron is present in beetroot, green leaves and all, and calcium is present in milk products generally, like milk, egg, cheese, curd. Next, folic acid is generally present in the green things like dark green leaves and other green like beans, yeast. Next, vitamins. If the woman is lacking vitamin A, then she is advised to consume carrot. And if the woman is lacking in vitamin B, then she is advised to consume some other seeds, beans, nuts and all. And if the woman is lacking on the vitamin C, then she is advised to consume more fresh fruits and green leaves. And vitamin D, the generally related to calcium, so she is advised to consume lots of milk. And fibers you can find in rice, oats, peas and cereals. These are the sources. This is the basic nutrition things that is required for a pregnant woman. Now, psychosocial and cultural aspects of pregnancy. What are the changes that is related to psychological, or the changes that is related to social, or the changes that is related to culture aspect? What are the aspects that affects the women during the pregnancies? Okay, the first one is adjustment to pregnancy. Adjustment to pregnancy is nothing but during the time of pregnancy, the woman's body will be changing month after the month. Her belly gets expanded, she feel more unattractive, her mood gets swing, like she feels more depressive once and she feels very happy once and she feels more frightened once. Everything mix of emotions, and there are lots of changes which is seen during the pregnancy. So the very first is the women get psychologically affected because of the change in physical environment and emotional environment. And next is unwedded mother. Unwedded mother is nothing but the women who gets pregnant is not married yet, and they are known as unwedded mothers. The cause behind the unwedded women can be like personal reasons like illegal profession, or maybe cases like raped. Generally at these aspects, these mothers, the women who get pregnant is kept apart from the society, so society treat them in a different way. which affects them psychologically and even emotionally. And then single parenting can be seen in different ways, like either single parenting by choice, like mother decides I want to lead my child on my own, or can be the parents gets divorced, like mother and parents are aparted, so the child has to stay either with the mother or the father. And the third type is if the father is working in the different place, so mother has to take care of the child alone, and that is the third type. And the fourth type is if the father is dead or the mother is dead, the parents who is remaining has to take care of the child. These are the causes which are seen in the single parenting, and this generally affects the child a lot. Emotionally she might be lacking the care of either mothers or the father. Emotionally she will be lacking the care. Teenage pregnancy can be seen either in the culture aspects or in the social aspects. Like culture aspects in the sense, generally in few cultures women's are like, girls around 13 years are being married. 13-year a girl itself a child, she needs to grow, she is not mature enough to become a mother, either mentally or physically, both the way. At that age if she is getting married and she is getting pregnant, that's not the correct thing. It will affect her physiological aspects, and even it affects her mental aspects. This is all because of the social and culture aspects. Next, sexual violence. If the woman gets raped or sexually assaulted, she doesn't feel like living anymore, she wants to die. The first thing she thinks is like how she is going to face the society. Or so these are the psychological, social and cultural aspects of pregnancy. These are the expected questions from unit 3 and unit 4. Again I'm saying this is not the perfect question, it's just the question which are expected from this chapter. Do practice it, it will be very useful. That's it for today guys, we will meet in the next video. Until then, stay tuned.